Good morning. As Americans wake up today, the war involving the United States, Israel, and Iran is entering another critical day. And the situation remains tense with no clear signs of de-escalation. Over the past week, U.S. and Israeli forces have carried out a series of coordinated airstrikes targeting Iranian military infrastructure, missile systems, and facilities believed to be connected to Iran's nuclear program. Iran has responded with missile and drone attacks aimed at Israeli cities and at locations where American forces are stationed across the Middle East. So far, the fighting has remained largely an exchange of air and missile strikes. But military analysts warn that conflicts like this can escalate quickly if miscalculations occur. Overnight, new explosions were reported in parts of Iran as strikes continued against military targets. Iranian leaders say they will continue to retaliate, and they have warned that attacks against their territory will not go unanswered. The United States has reinforced its military presence across the region, positioning additional aircraft and naval forces as a precaution. At the same time, Israel says its goal is to weaken Iran's ability to launch missiles and support armed groups in the region. But the longer this conflict continues, the more difficult it becomes to contain. For many Americans, the war may feel far away, but the consequences could reach home quickly. One major concern is energy. If tensions disrupt shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important oil routes, global oil prices could spike. That could eventually translate into higher gas prices here in the United States. Another concern is the safety of American troops stationed throughout the Middle East. Thousands of U.S. service members remain in the region, and military bases have already been targeted in retaliation strikes. And finally, there's the broader risk of escalation. If other regional actors become involved, the conflict could grow far beyond the current air war. From a strategic perspective, the United States and Israel appear to be trying to achieve two goals at the same time. First, they want to weaken Iran's military capabilities, particularly its missile systems and nuclear infrastructure. Second, they want to avoid triggering a full-scale regional war, but those goals can sometimes conflict with each other. History shows that when countries exchange strikes like this, the pressure to retaliate can build quickly on both sides. Iran's leadership is under domestic pressure to respond strongly. Meanwhile, Israel and the United States want to show that attacks on their forces or allies will not go unanswered. That dynamic can create a cycle where each side escalates in response to the other. As the day unfolds, there are three major things to watch. First, whether Iran launches additional retaliatory strikes. Second, whether the United States expands its military operations. And third, whether international powers, including European countries and Gulf states, begin pushing more aggressively for diplomatic talks to stop the fighting. Right now, the conflict remains limited primarily to air and missile attacks. But in a region where tensions have simmered for decades, even small escalations can have enormous consequences. For Americans, the coming days will be critical in determining whether this conflict stabilizes or expands into something much larger.